In this next chapter, we step even deeper into the world's smallest country, where centuries-old customs blend seamlessly with unexpected modern twists, revealing a side of daily life that few outsiders have ever witnessed. In this video, I'll share 10 more Vatican facts that reveal the fascinating details most visitors never discover. These insights go far beyond the typical tourist experience and show you how this tiny nation operates in ways that might genuinely surprise you. 1. The Vatican operates its very own independent telephone network, complete with a unique international country code, +379. While that's already unusual for a country measuring less than half a square kilometer, what's truly remarkable is the sheer density of its phone lines. With a population of fewer than 900 residents, Vatican City boasts one of the highest ratios of telephones per capita anywhere in the world. This is not just because locals like to chat, far from it. As the global headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican handles an enormous volume of international communication, from coordinating with dioceses on every continent to managing diplomatic relations with more than 180 countries. The result? There are more active phone lines than there are people living within its walls. A quirky statistic that perfectly reflects the Vatican's unusual role as both a spiritual center and a highly connected hub of global administration. 2. The Pope's summer residence, known as Castel Gandolfo, holds a unique place in the Vatican's history and geography. While it does not lie within the tiny borders of Vatican City, it enjoys the same extraterritorial rights granted under the Lateran Treaty of 1929, meaning it is treated as sovereign Vatican territory despite being physically located in Italy. Perched in the hills of the Alban Mountains, about 15 miles, 25 kilometers southeast of Rome, the 135-acre estate is a serene retreat far removed from the bustle of the Eternal City. The property is a blend of ornamental gardens, fruit orchards, and working farmland, complete with olive groves, vineyards, and even a fully operational dairy that produces milk, cheese, and yogurt for the Vatican's needs. At the heart of the estate stands the Apostolic Palace, the Pope's private apartments, offering breathtaking panoramic views of the deep blue waters of Lake Albano, a volcanic crater lake that has attracted visitors since Roman times. Beyond its role as a papal retreat, the complex is also home to one of the Vatican's most prestigious scientific facilities, the Vatican Observatory. Equipped with advanced telescopes, it continues a centuries-long tradition of astronomical research, linking the Vatican's pastoral mission with a deep curiosity about the universe. For centuries, Castel Gandolfo was a place of quiet reflection, rest, and contemplation for popes, though in recent years it has also been opened to the public, allowing visitors to step inside one of the most private sanctuaries in the Catholic world. 3. Although Vatican City shares the euro with much of Europe, it mints its own exclusive version of the currency. Coins so rare that they've become coveted treasures in the numismatic world. This privilege stems from a special agreement with the European Union, allowing the Vatican to produce a strictly limited number of euro coins each year, all bearing distinctive Vatican designs. The quantities are tiny compared to other nations, reflecting the microstate's size and population. But this scarcity is exactly what drives their desirability. Each coin features imagery tied to the papacy and Catholic heritage, portraits of reigning popes, religious symbols, and historical motifs, making them not just legal tender, but miniature works of art with spiritual and historical significance. Because of this limited production, Vatican euro coins rarely enter everyday circulation. Instead, most are snapped up instantly by collectors worldwide. A standard €2 coin from the Vatican can fetch 10 to 20 times its face value, sometimes more if it's part of a special edition or features a new pope. For example, complete annual mint sets, or commemorative issues often sell out within hours and can command high prices on the secondary market. In essence, Vatican euro coins function as both currency and collectibles, a rare blend of monetary value, artistic craftsmanship, and religious heritage that makes them some of the most sought-after coins in modern Europe. 4. The Vatican Museums are home to one of the largest and most important art collections in the world, a treasure trove spanning over 2 millennia of human creativity. From ancient Egyptian relics and Greek sculptures to Renaissance masterpieces and modern works, the collection reflects both the Vatican's long history and its global cultural influence. In total, the museums safeguard more than 70,000 works of art. Yet the vast majority of these pieces remain hidden from the public eye. Only around 20,000 artworks are on display at any given time, arranged across 1,400 rooms, galleries, and chapels that wind through the sprawling museum complex. The remaining 50,000-plus pieces are carefully stored in climate-controlled archives and vaults, protected from light, humidity, and environmental damage. This hidden majority includes rare manuscripts, delicate textiles, ancient maps, sacred relics, and fragile paintings that cannot withstand constant exposure. Curators periodically rotate items into the public galleries or bring them out for special exhibitions, ensuring that even frequent visitors may encounter something entirely new. For art lovers, this means the Vatican Museums are not just a fixed display, but a living, evolving collection, a place where only the surface of its immense cultural wealth is ever visible, while behind closed doors lies a vast, unseen world of priceless treasures. 5. Pope Francis holds a remarkable place in the history of the Catholic Church for more than one reason. Elected in 2013, he became the first pope ever from the Americas, hailing from Buenos Aires, Argentina, a historic shift for an institution whose leaders had, for centuries, been chosen exclusively from Europe. But perhaps even more extraordinary is the fact that Francis is also the first Jesuit pope in the Church's 2,000-year history. The Society of Jesus, more commonly known as the Jesuits, was founded in 1540 by St. Ignatius of Loyola as a religious order dedicated to education, intellectual scholarship, and global missionary work. Over the centuries, the Jesuits produced some of the world's most influential theologians, scientists, and explorers, shaping both Catholic thought and global history. Yet, despite their influence, no Jesuit had ever ascended to the papacy, partly due to the order's strong emphasis on humility, service, and avoiding positions of high ecclesiastical power. In fact, some Jesuits had even taken vows to decline such offices if offered. Francis's election, therefore, marked a profound break with nearly 500 years of tradition, symbolizing both the Church's global reach and its willingness to embrace new perspectives. By choosing the name Francis in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, he signaled a papacy focused on simplicity, compassion, and service to the marginalized, values deeply resonant with both his Jesuit formation and his personal vision for the Church's future. 6. Hidden behind the walls of Vatican City is a network of facilities that function much like those of a small, self-sufficient town, except with privileges that make them unlike anything you'd find in the rest of Rome. Among these are the Vatican's own supermarket, pharmacy, and gas station, all of which are off-limits to the general public. Access is strictly controlled, granted only to Vatican residents, employees, diplomats, and others holding a special Vatican identification card. The Vatican supermarket is a shopper's dream, offering goods completely free of Italy's value-added tax, VAT. Everyday items, from groceries and wine to electronics and luxury goods, can be purchased at prices significantly lower than in Roman stores just outside the walls. For Vatican staff, this tax-free perk is a substantial financial benefit. The gas station operates under a similar principle, selling fuel at reduced prices compared to the rest of Italy, where gasoline is among the most expensive in Europe. For those who regularly drive in and out of Vatican territory, this is both a convenience and a cost saver. The Vatican Pharmacy is perhaps the most unique of the three. It is one of the best-stocked pharmacies in Italy, carrying a wide range of medications, including certain drugs and international pharmaceutical brands that may be difficult or impossible to find elsewhere in the country. It also serves as a trusted source for medical supplies for clergy and diplomats stationed around the world. Together, these facilities highlight an intriguing aspect of Vatican life. Despite being the smallest country in the world, it maintains a self-contained economy with exclusive benefits, operating under its own rules and shielded from many of the costs and restrictions of life beyond its gates. 7. The Sistine Chapel ceiling, one of the most celebrated masterpieces in art history, almost never happened. At least not under the hand of Michelangelo. Contrary to popular belief, the project was not his idea. In 1508, Pope Julius II, a man known for his fierce will and ambitious building projects, all but compelled Michelangelo to accept the commission. At the time, Michelangelo was already a renowned sculptor, fresh from creating the David in Florence. Painting, especially large-scale fresco work, was not his passion. He even considered himself unqualified for it. In fact, he tried to refuse the job, arguing that he was a sculptor, not a painter. But Julius II was persistent, and Michelangelo eventually relented. What followed was 4 grueling years of labor, 1508 to 1512, during which Michelangelo worked mostly alone, designing and executing an unprecedented visual narrative of biblical scenes. He painted while standing and bending backward on specially designed scaffolding, not actually lying flat, as is often imagined, his neck craned toward the vast vault above him. The physical strain was immense. He later wrote in a poem that the work left him with a stiff neck, aching back, and paint dripping constantly into his eyes. Despite his initial reluctance, the finished ceiling was revolutionary, spanning over 500 square meters and populated with more than 300 figures, from the iconic creation of Adam to the monumental prophets and sibyls. It not only transformed the Sistine Chapel, but also redefined the possibilities of Renaissance art. Ironically, the commission Michelangelo never wanted became one of the most enduring symbols of his genius. 8. In the modern era of its existence as an independent state, Vatican City holds a remarkable distinction. It has never recorded a single case of murder within its borders. For a country that welcomes millions of visitors each year, this is an extraordinary statistic, one that underscores its unique environment and tightly controlled security. That's not to say crime is entirely absent. Petty offenses, particularly pickpocketing and purse snatching, do occasionally occur, but these are almost always the work of outside thieves targeting tourists rather than crimes committed by residents. Given the Vatican's tiny population, fewer than 900 people, most of them clergy, officials, and members of the Swiss Guard, the opportunity for serious crime is minimal. Security in the world's smallest country is maintained through a two-tiered system. The colorful and iconic Swiss Guard, founded in 1506, serves primarily as the Pope's personal bodyguard and a ceremonial force, while the Vatican Gendarmerie Corps functions as the city-state's police service. Together, they patrol St. Peter's Square, monitor the museums, guard entrances, and maintain a discreet but constant watch over visitors and residents alike. The result is one of the lowest serious crime rates anywhere in the world, making Vatican City not only the spiritual heart of the Catholic Church, but also one of the safest places on the planet, at least when it comes to violent crime. 9. The Vatican may be the world's smallest sovereign state, but when it comes to technology, it has often been surprisingly ahead of the curve. It operates its own official internet domain, .va, used exclusively for Vatican-related websites, from news services to official church documents. This digital presence is part of a broader strategy to connect the Holy See with Catholics and non-Catholics alike across the globe. The Church's leap into the digital age became especially visible in 2001, when Pope John Paul II made history by sending the very first papal email, symbolically embracing the internet as a tool for evangelization and global communication. Since then, the Vatican has steadily expanded its online reach, producing live streams of papal audiences, hosting virtual tours of the Vatican Museums, and publishing multilingual online resources. Today, the Pope's social media presence is one of the most followed in the world. The official @Pontifex Twitter account has millions of followers, posting messages in 9 different languages to ensure the widest possible audience. This multilingual approach reflects the Church's global nature, with tweets ranging from spiritual reflections to responses on world events. In recent years, the Vatican has also embraced Instagram, YouTube, and other platforms, sharing images, videos, and live broadcasts that give people unprecedented access to the Pope's activities and the life inside the Vatican walls. For an institution rooted in centuries-old traditions, this proactive embrace of technology shows that even the smallest nation on Earth can play a major role in the modern digital conversation. In 2019, the infamous Vatican Secret Archives underwent a significant rebranding, officially changing its name to the Vatican Apostolic Archives. The change was motivated in part by the misconception the word secret often conveyed, implying hidden conspiracies, when in reality, the archives are a highly restricted but scholarly institution dedicated to preserving centuries of history. Spanning an astonishing 12 centuries, the archives hold an unparalleled collection of papal correspondence, official state documents, diplomatic records, and other invaluable manuscripts that chronicle the Catholic Church's intricate relationship with world history. From medieval treaties and Renaissance letters to sensitive political dispatches, the archives provide a unique window into the past. If you were to lay all the shelves end to end, the documents would stretch over 50 miles, a staggering testament to the volume and depth of material housed within. Altogether, the archives contain roughly 35,000 volumes, organized with painstaking care by expert archivists. Access to this treasure trove is extremely limited. Only qualified researchers who submit a formal application are granted entry, and even then, strict rules apply. Visitors are typically allowed to consult just 3 files per day under close supervision. This exclusivity makes the Vatican Apostolic Archives one of the most elite and mysterious libraries in the world, a place where historians and scholars must earn the privilege to glimpse the intimate documents behind centuries of papal and global history. These details reveal just how much depth and complexity exists within Vatican City's 0.17 square miles. Each fact represents a different aspect of how this unique nation balances its spiritual mission with the practical requirements of modern sovereignty. From papal summer homes with astronomical observatories to members-only shopping facilities, the Vatican continues to surprise even people who think they know it well. If you found these Vatican facts interesting, I'd appreciate a like on this video. Consider subscribing if you enjoy discovering the hidden operational details of famous destinations. Share this with anyone who's curious about how unique places actually function behind the scenes. Thanks for being here, and travel gently.